And good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are, maybe even good morning.
That's right.
Because
Around the world, we are. We
exactly, because
exactly
last summer I was doing it in the morning.
in South
And
Korea. Yeah,
yes,
you were. Yeah,
and so uh, we're glad to have you back with us, and we're glad to be here also for taking the journey together.
mm-hmm.
I am Sharon or Zare,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm here with Craig or Imar, and we are relationship coaches, and we are glad to be able to share a little of our insight into having a healthy, thriving relationship with you.
Exactly.
So, we're going to start off with our belief statement,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to read that to you. We are going to relate. It doesn't matter what your mother, father, sister, brother, children, or even what Jesus says, we are going to relate. At taking the journey together, we feel the need to relate in a balanced way. By balanced, we mean taking the friendship and sharing on one side and the lover and sexual compatibility on the other side. And then we get the idea, and from there, we put those together. We also get the idea that we can be friends, but we can't be lovers, or we can be lovers, but we can't be friends. And therefore, I can marry my lover, but not my friend. At TTJT, we believe your best friend can be your best lover. To that extent, we work towards creating a thriving relationship, or what is called a healthy relationship.
Exactly. Exactly. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Who basically been following us for quite a while. How long have we been doing on this
On
particular
this
good
platform,
years? We lost something. Oh, we're back again. Bad channel in our Batman and Batwoman Bat cave here in the world, and our sad to say, our connection is not the best in the world. We're gonna have to get on AT&T, which is usually our studio that's in the house, so we got a better connection. But that's all right because we have an exciting couple that is on the other side, just itching and ready to get in on this topic that we're going to
yes,
talk about, that we've been continuing on talking about. And for those who miss our usual host, what's her name?
Melanie,
Miss Milani, and some people call her
Empress.
Empress. We miss her this particular time. And for the young people, I know they enjoy having her on the show because of the things that she learns and the things she also in turn inputs to us, because we really are trying to reach out to our young people, know that their relationships can be healthy, their relationships can expand, their relationships can be rebuilt, that they don't just have to have casual short relationships and stay in that cycle of madness of doing the same thing over and over again and never progressing and growing. And we know that in our community, especially African American community, we need to have good power couples, to build our community and make it not only better, to make it, some people say, as it was years ago, because we did have good relationships years ago,
Yes.
right?
Yes, and one of the other things that we need to really focus on
Mm-hmm.
is the fact that the examples, and that's something that you talk about often, the
Mm-hmm.
examples of positive relationships, of strong relationships, are few and far between.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have some understanding, for example, from the different uh, principles that we impart upon you, or we share with you, will have a better chance of entering into a relationship that will be a long-term thriving relationship. There's a difference between a long-term thriving relationship and a long-term surviving relationship. The thriving relationship is the one you want to be in for a long time, but you have to be willing to build into it.
Yeah, we got Michael. So hello, Michael. Hello also to Aria.
Araya,
Aria, we see her many a times too. Thank you for
she's a regular.
tuning in. She's definitely a regular from that particular. So, are we ready to introduce our very unique, I call them power couples, and let them tell a little bit about themselves, and then we'll get into our topic? Excuse me. Are we ready to do that, or do you think we should just? No, I think we should. Don't you
I
think so?
I think we should, because I think they have so much to offer that it would be a shame to just have everybody waiting. But one thing I do want to say
Mm-hmm.
is, because of connection is 100% as we would like for it to be. If you see us stumbling or something like that, please bear with us. Just stick tight. We will be coming back.
Yeah, I can see already. I'm trying to. Oh, there is Theodore. I've seen him from before.
Yes.
Welcome, Theodore, too, at the same time. Okay, so we're ready to introduce him?
Yes.
Okay, let's
and
get
so
on in.
we are going to bring
Here
in
we go.
Kanya and Calvin. Welcome. Yay.
Hey, I don't have my yay button
Exactly.
because it's back at the studio. So we'll just have to go yay our own self. But welcome to taking the journey together. We got a power couple that we met not too long ago.
Right.
In Savannah, Georgia. They're doing great things in our urban community in Savannah, Georgia, and we are looking at to partner with him in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, in the long run, the great
In the
things that they're
short
doing.
run, that will extend into the long run.
Exactly, they're doing some great things. The money where their mouth is. That's very important. Tell us a little bit before we get into our topic. Tell us a little bit about who you doing so much. Go ahead.
I'm Kanya Nunnally, and this is Calvin Lawrence. Um, we have what we call Bill and Bridges Enterprises. Bill and Bridges Enterprises in Savannah, Georgia. We are a private foundation. We operate as a nonprofit. We help majority of the minority areas. We help with housing, jobs. We have programs like the CDL program, which my fiance Calvin Lawrence is the director. We have IT program, we have AI program, we have a youth program with Savannah Police Department. Um, we help with homelessness, we help with drug addiction. We work with Carl Gilliard, which is our state representative inside the county jail, bringing people out of county jail, getting them housing, jobs, putting them in programs, changing their life wholly. That's basically what
All
we do.
right. All right.
Hi, my
She
name is.
says basically
Oh,
that's just a little bit. That's a lot that you do.
Yes, sir. What were you getting ready to say, sir? Go ahead.
yes, sir. I'm Calvin Lawrence, and I am the CDL director of Building Bridges. Started off, I had my own trucking company, and I met this wonderful lady right here, and she told me what all she had going on, and I seen that she needed a foot in to help out, and I just dived right on in, and it just kept building as we went along. And, we are a private foundation that operate as a nonprofit. And with that being said, it's like a second chance program for people that lost hope and just feel like they can't get anywhere because of they have been in trouble, or they just can't find a job because of certain records that they have. We are the program to come to so that they will have that second chance or that second door, so that they will be able to survive and
Productive.
be productive and have much more in life to afford. I know the income of housing is very high right now, and a lot of people working a regular job just can't afford to live in a regular house. They have to pretty much shack up with someone, or stay with a relative or something like that these days. But we are offering jobs that are $100,000 or better, so that they will have the opportunity to be on their own and
Have a better
just have
career.
another hope for themselves. Because some of us, we just give up hope and we go to doing back to the wrong things, and we just want to try to change that and give people a second chance at life.
Yes, yeah. Well, we're hoping that when we just talked with you before the show started, telling you about some of the things that we could offer, Sharon's looked at me and said, "Hey, we need to talk about teaching relationship classes with him. What I also need that needs to be for young people who are coming out that also need to know that they can have hope with partnerships in a relationship. And you know what? We always talk about the dynamics of interconnectivity. What is interconnectivity?
It is doing more with someone else than you can do by yourself.
Exactly, exactly. And if any need is needed right now, especially in our community. We need to be able to partner and work together in unity so that we can do more than what we can do by ourselves. And those are some of the things that we teach and present. So, hey, that's something we want you guys to keep on your mind. We'd be glad to help you out in doing that. That's where our niche is in so many words.
Because one of the other things we find is there's a lot of stress in relationships when you're trying to get back on your feet. There's a lot of stress in relationships when you don't know what to do with a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because we're going to relate, whether we know what to do with it or not. And so to alleviate some of that stress by helping people to understand how to cope, how to deal with it, how to connect through relationships, it'll make that transition a lot easier, a lot smoother. Not perfect, because there is no such thing as perfect,
No.
but it will make it more manageable for them. One more thing that they don't have just sort of beating them over the head.
Exactly. We base our balanced relationship off of friendship. And I bet you two are friends.
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
I was going to say, if you didn't, I'm going to turn this off right now. No, I'm just joking. But seriously, the power couples that I have listened to, have read books on, who are doing great things right now, all of them say what they base their relationship is they're both are friends.
Yeah.
So we know friendship is the important base your relationship must have in order for you to have a long-term, balanced, healthy relationship. And didn't say whatsoever you're not going to have some problems, but just like you remember when you had that close ace, my day, ace boom coon, or I'm basically, what does it say? Aging myself,
Yeah.
but your boy, your girl, whatever it was, if they were close friends, you knew whatever happened, whatever you did, you were going to be there for them.
Mhm.
How much more do you not think you should have that in that relationship called marriage in that long term? You
Right.
got to have that there. So that's one of our strongest bases when it comes to taking the journey, is you have to learn how to be a friend in your relationship. What y'all think about that, by the way?
Well, that's what we learn mostly. What makes our relationship strong. Um, we're the opposite, but we're the same. Our learning each other, we find out that the flaws that we have, and he understand my flaws more than anyone, and that's the closeness we have. Um, it makes me as a person grow into what I'm doing. I have someone to understand what I'm going through, what I'm feeling like at this particular time, because a lot of people call me malicious. Oh, Miss Connie is, you can't play with Miss Connie, and she's always serious. But Calvin knows me, and he's like, you got to calm down. You got to, maybe, you got to like stay focused. Don't let anyone get to you and this and that. And usually I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, this is serious. And he feeds to me, and he knows when to back off of me, and no one does that. No one does that. So though I've accomplished a lot of things, and a lot of people feel like who are doing the same thing that you do, they understand you and you can communicate with them. But that's not really true. The person who communicates with you best is the one who understands you as a person, your personality, your character. So he helps me grow. The missing parts that I need to feed, to make my company grow, he does that for me. Um, Calvin had he had a very wild life when he was young. He made a decision to buckle down. He went and got a trucking, opened up his trucking first car wash, then his trucking company, and he changed his life tremendously. So a lot of people was looking like, hey, is he that same person? No, he's not. And one of the things he always tell me is because of you. So being a friend, more than anything, family can promote
Uh-oh. We lost her. I hate seeing that right in the middle
I know.
of her talking about some good things, but she's correct. again, just confirming being a friend is so important.
It
Hey,
Oh, I'm
what do you
sorry.
think? No, that's all right. You kind of died right there, and that's okay. And I wanted to say on top of that to
Could you
some
hear me?
of us listening, yes, we can. Some people out there who are listening, that sometimes us brothers in turn may get a hard time from a sister saying, "You can't tell me nothing. You got nothing to tell me." But we're hearing a sister saying she's got a brother that she can listen to, a brother that can add into her life, a brother that helps enhance her life. And we need to understand in our communities that we need each other. We can't stick by those old stereotypes that say, hey, because that father wasn't there before, and maybe that father or that man did me wrong. Now, therefore, I ain't gonna listen to anything he says whatsoever. That's not always true. That's not always true. And in a balanced relationship, you don't take that with you
Right.
anyway, especially if you're being friends.
Exactly.
You're
Right.
absolutely
Right.
correct, and that's our balance. Like I say, we learn to respect each other, understand each other, understand our difference in the way we think, our backgrounds, and we complement each other extremely. He motivates me. I motivate him. The things I've accomplished and learned in my life, I expose it to him. Things that he feel like I have to be careful about in how dealing with people, because I'm very strong-headed. Like, I'm going to accomplish, and I want people to. If I'm dealing with a client, I want them to accomplish what they need to succeed. And he calms things down. So yeah, that's the number one thing more important than anything. Like I was saying earlier, most relationships these days are based on each other's success. Oh, we're a perfect match. This person went to college for 4 years. I went to college for 4 years. We went to see, things like that. Um, People thrive off of. They don't thrive off of friendship anymore. Understanding and helping each
She's
other
breaking up.
grow.
You're breaking up again, but I guess we got the gist of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we pretty much got the gist of breakup. Now we're going
Hello.
to move on because we only have an hour, and every time we get on this show, it could be longer than an
It
hour because
goes
it's
so
so important.
fast.
I'm going to show a video here real quickly, which I should have had set up from before. Sure, help me up. Set this. Is that it, right? Is that right?
Uh-huh.
Share the screen, and then I'm go over to Windows. Is that the window? Hold on. Facebook here, Facebook here, Facebook. Oh, I think it's the window. There it
That's
is.
the window.
There's the window. Okay. Somebody's peeking in the window. Here we go. Let's see. Whoa, on the stage. There we go. Okay, we're going to now move into this area that has to do with a couple young folks know about, because we know about the young man that you see in this picture who just did his thing at the Super Bowl. But there's something you don't know about that we want you to listen to that I think is very much important, but it's everything to
I
do
think we
with
got
what
to
we're
see.
talking about right now. Hold on for a
Yes.
second here. Here we go.
Whitney is a makeup artist, while Kendrick's net has reached
Mhm.
$140 million, which leads some people to think she's not worthy of him. However, Kendrick says,
Did
without
you
her,
guys?
there wouldn't be today. First, she's been by Kendrick's side since their teenage years. They met in high school when Kendrick's family was struggling, and only Whitney always believed in his ability to achieve his musical dreams. As a result, many of Kendrick's songs are dedicated to his wife, even featuring her voice in some tracks. Kendrick considers his wife his best friend in life. Actions. Even though Whitney has 170,000 on social media, her low-key approach allows Kendrick to focus better on his career. Lastly, she lives very frugally. Although Kendrick's life is filled with luxury, owning countless high-end cars and expensive items, Whitney often wears clothes worth less than $100 and values family stability and her children's growth over material indulgences. No wonder Kendrick Lamar is so loyal to his three irreplaceable qualities. Whitney is a makeup artist, while Kendrick's net worth has reached $140 million, which leads some people to think she's not worthy of him. However, Kendrick says, without her, there wouldn't be me today. First, she's been by Kendrick's side since their teenage years. They met in high school when Kendrick believed in his ability to achieve his musical dreams. As a result, many of Kendrick's songs are dedicated to his wife, even featuring her voice in some tracks. Kendrick considers his wife his best friend in life, someone he can confide in without hesitation about his fears and confusion. Secondly, she always understands Kendrick's actions. Kendrick is already a globally known artist, but he has always kept his personal life private. So even though Whitney has 170,000 followers on social media, her low-key approach allows Kendrick to focus better on his career. Lastly, she lives very frugally. Although Kendrick's life is filled with luxury, owning countless high-end cars and expensive items, Whitney often wears clothes worth less than $100 and values family stability and her children's growth over material indulgences. No one
Stop that there, even though I could have played it many a times. We now see behind the curtains of Mr. Kendrick is a wife, a partner, a friend, a lover he cares about. That in turn, he has not dropped off, even though he's been successful. And what we see is a powerful, powerful power couple relationship and how they're relating to one another. So, young folks, that's an example of what can happen to you. That's an example of what you can do and you should think about when it comes to in your relationship. They are using what our topic is talking about today. It's talk about compliment. She compliments him. Yes. And of course, he compliments her. So we're going to talk about compliment today. This is our lesson today, folks. This is the topic for us to learn from it. This is our assignment today. What is compliment all about? Why don't you talk a little bit about on our notes? What is compliment about?
To have a mate that compliments you in a balanced, healthy relationship means to bring qualities, strengths, and perspectives that harmonize with yours rather than mirror them exactly. It's about creating synergy where both partners enhance, which means they improve or strengthen the quality, the well-being, and connection between the individuals. This can involve actions or behaviors that positively impact emotional, physical, mental, and even spiritual aspects of the relationship toward others' growth, stability, and well-being without overpowering or diminishing the other.
Yeah. Again, this is not about two people in the relationship acting the same, like they're two robots, that they are twins, even if you want to call them twin flames. They are, even twin flames are not even the same with one another. Right. Even twins physically are not the same with one another. So we're not talking about that. We're talking about couples who complement each other because they are enhancing one another. Mm-hmm. They're improving on one another. They're using that skill that we talked about, which is interconnectivity, where you can do more with somebody else than what you could do by yourself. Give us some examples of what you two have did together that you knew you really couldn't do by yourself.
Well, that was one of the subject we were on. Him being a studio director. I opened one of my programs was like I say CDL to help a lot of the people couldn't afford going to most of these technical college to get their CDL. Um, I needed a CDL director. I needed a instructor. Um, he stepped right on in. I mean, and we had the class previously that year. He stepped right on in. We had like 80% more graduates. So it was well needed and it took off much faster. It was much in line and it changed a lot of people's life. It went from young men working $15 an hour. Now they're making 100,000 a year.
Oh, right.
Wow.
I'm so
Isn't that
proud
something?
of
I
them
know
for
that made
that.
I know that made you feel proud. My brother, what did you think about that, being able to now do something more than just driving a truck, but now you're changing people's lives in the area that you have experienced in, but through her, you saw that you did more. How did that make you feel, brother?
It made me feel wonderful. At first, well, really, she saw something in me that I didn't even see in myself, because I didn't even think I could even stand up in front of a class and be able to teach a class. And evidently, she just saw something in me that I just clearly didn't thought I had in me, and she kind of pushed me to it. And I was like,
nah, that ain't me. I was kind of shy. I really, I had the rabbit foot and I well legs and I was real shy at first. And as I began, getting into it and teaching the class, I kind of loosened up that I was actually teaching someone. They actually learned something from me. So with my skills and with my ability to, to drive truck and everything that I knew about the truck, it came in handy with actually being able to teach someone and be able to teach someone something I didn't even think that I had in myself to teach. So that was wonderful. That was wonderful. But now it's like I got a comfortable now.
Okay. Wow. Even though you're breaking up, and we got
great.
Even though you two,
Now, he usually like to be on the camera or they have to interview. No, don't you just let it. Now he's more open to letting the rest of everyone. Like he made a change in his life, a huge change, and then began changing other people's lives. So, it's about complimenting each other. He taught me to be more understanding towards other people, be more patient with him and other people. So he complimented greatly. I mean, he put a calm on me that I would say was shocking, extraordinary.
okay. You guys, I hate to say this, but you guys are breaking up, but we pretty much got the gist of it. I think what I'm going to do is we're going to go to our break. Maybe you guys can move around a little bit or maybe get the phone closer or something so that those good words you're talking about won't get lost. Okay, let's give that a try. But we're going to go to our break real quickly, put you guys in the back, okay? And then we'll come back after these break, and hopefully we can make sure that we are able to hear you, okay? Here we go.
Hey there. Are you ready to amplify your voice and embrace your passion? Tune in to Our Black Media Network, where community comes first and every story matters. We're here 24/7, delivering powerful content on everything from financial literacy to the latest in sports and mental health. We are unapologetically real, reflecting the heartbeat of our community with programs that inspire, empower, and drive change. Join us on all major media platforms to celebrate our unique voices and advocate for the change we want to see. With over 50K monthly viewers, our network is your go-to destination for authentic, engaging content. Be a part of the movement. Be a part of the change. Tune in to Our Black Media Network today and let your voice be heard. Join us for an unforgettable Caribbean cruise. Attention everyone, are you ready for a summer escape? Our Black Media Network invites you to an incredible Caribbean cruise from June 16th to June 20th, 2025. Whether you're bringing your partner or connecting with family and friends, this is the perfect getaway. Here's what you can look forward to. Monday, we set sail for the Port Carnival, Orlando, Florida. The adventure begins. Tuesday, enjoy a fun day at the sea. Relax and take part in exciting onboard activities. Wednesday, discover the beauty of Grand Turk. Immerse yourself in the island of culture and scenery. Thursday, another fun day at the sea. More time to mingle with you and your boo. Friday, explore the stunning shores of the Bahamas. Experience paradise firsthand. And last but not least, Saturday, we return to the Port Carnival, bringing back cherished memories. This cruise is your chance to engage with your favorite show host, your spouse, and make valuable connections and ignite meaningful conversations. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. For more information, Reach out to our staff or any show host and email at getgoingtravelagency@gmail.com. Once again, that's getgoingtravelagency@gmail.com. Secure your spot today and get ready for a remarkable summer experience. You can learn more information at rblackmedia.com. Once again, that's rblackmedia.com.
Savannah, are you looking for some of the best Southern soul food? Then check out Kim's Cafe at 714 MLK Boulevard. The food is so good, you'll think that your mother cooked it. Located in the heart of Savannah, Kim's has a menu that includes breakfast anytime, lunch when you need it, and dinner so you won't have to cook when you get home. They also cater all types of events and can host your reserved event at the restaurant. Come see what everyone has been raving about. Great food, great atmosphere, and a great time. Kim's Cafe, 714 MLK Boulevard in beautiful downtown Savannah.
Hey, well, we're back. Oh man, that was quick. Where were
It was
we?
abrupt.
Yeah, quicker than what we thought. So where were we at? And let's bring our guests back in. Where can they find us, Sharon?
Well, they can find us here, of course, on Thursday nights at 6 p.m.,
Mhm.
which is on our Black Media Network. They can also contact us, especially if you're looking for a relationship coach. You can reach us at takingthejourneytogether@gmail.com. That is takingthejourneytogether@gmail.com. Just email us and let us know that you can put in the comments relationship coach or something like that, so that we'll know that that's what you're reaching out to us for.
And those who have called, we appreciate it. We'll be getting back with you so we can help you out in your direction or where you want to go, which is towards a balanced, healthy relationship. Where else can they find us?
Oh, well, wait a minute. We didn't give the phone number.
Okay,
So-
I'm sorry. Give the phone number.
Or you can call us at 786-763-1324. That's 786-763.
Right down there, folks.
1324.
It's going.
There it
Okay.
is.
Okay, how about?
And on Saturday mornings, you can find us at, I jumped ahead, didn't I?
Here you go.
On Saturday mornings, you can find us at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on WRUU at
107.5.
Thank you. See, that's
You
where
always
you
miss
me
that.
out.
I
I do. I
miss that.
always
I don't
miss
know
that.
why, but go ahead.
107.5 WRUU every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. And we are also on Facebook, and we are on at Facebook at TTJ Together. Instagram, we are taking the J together.
Yeah, most people watching us right now on Taking the Journey Together off of Facebook, to be exact, but they can catch us on YouTube pretty soon. Pretty soon we're going to move to a blog where you can actually subscribe to us and see what we're doing and look at all of past 4 or 5 years of our past topics we've been going through that you can learn from. Hopefully pretty soon we might do something live with this couple at their many good places where we could do a show live with them, have some guests involved with them could be part of the panel, and have young people there and make it, as it should be, a large enhanced time for people to learn about relationship, and we can make it all go live at the same time. What y'all think about that?
Yes, we would love that.
Okay. Did you guys just move down the block a little bit, or do you just move the phone up higher?
Oh, we just moved the phone. We just moved the phone a little higher. We really really
That's
enjoy
all
the
right.
show. We love the topic.
Thank
We
you.
really
Thank you
enjoy the
very
show.
much.
The
Them are the
topics are great.
Yeah, we have so many good topics that we deliver. One particular pastor came on and said, "Are you charging people for this? Because usually, if I go to a counselor or a coach, they usually are charging for this. When are you giving this away free?" Well, this is part of our love gift to life, paying it forward. And that's what we've been motivated to do it for the last 4 or 5 years. Before Sharon met me, I had a show called Taking the Journey where I had about 100,000 people will follow me. I had about 4 or 5 authors around the country who were writing for me too at the same time. I've always believed that relationships coming out of a single parent family relationship where my dad left me years and years ago. So I pretty much was a fatherless son and a fatherless father. You got to think about that. I was a fatherless son and a fatherless father. And in turn, because of that, I've always had on my heart that fact that I was not going to be the same way as my father was. But at the same time, I understood what was missing. What we didn't have was friendship in our relationship. And that's what Taking the Journey started off, is always on the basis of friendship.
And talking about complimenting, that was my compliment to this man. When we met, he had this e-zine that he was doing. That's where he had all these writers and everything. But what he didn't have, and one of the things that I noticed when I looked at it, which he asked me to, I was coming on as a writer, and I looked at it and I said, there are a lot of mistakes in there. And what he didn't know is I was an editor. That's one of the things that I love doing, is editing people's written material. And so I ended up being an editor for the e-zine, which enhanced it a little bit.
Exactly. And still today, she looks over my backs and edits everything that I still have to write. But that is part of that compliment that's in friendship and relationship too. At the same time, are they? Are they still? They still there? Okay, they're not moving. So I thought maybe they got frozen time. At the same time, let's move into some of we have some key aspects of the relationship that's important for us to know.
Complementary relationship.
Complementary, yes, some key aspects that we need to understand. What's the first one? Key aspect in a complementary relationship, Sharon?
Balance of strengths and weaknesses.
Balances of strength and weaknesses. What are some of the balances and strengths of weaknesses that you two utilize in your relationship? Let me give you one. Let me give you one example. One partner might be more analytical, nerdy, okay, while the other partner might be more spiritual or intuitive. That's an example right there. Tell us, what are your two strengths and weaknesses that complement together in your relationship? Don't be afraid. Go ahead.
Oh,
I think they're frozen again.
Are you?
Just wave if you're still there. Can you hear us? Were you able to hear us? I don't think they heard us. Well, no, I think they're frozen again.
Yeah.
Well, next time we do this, we have to make sure that we get them at a spot in a place where they got a good signal.
Yes.
Because
yes,
I know they got some good things to
They've
say.
got some very good things that they are adding and contributing.
I don't know if you guys hear us, but we can't hear you. I saw you shake your. Okay, now you're moving.
There you go.
You're moving and stopping and moving and stopping. Maybe that's what the compliment is. One moves, one stops. One moves, another one stops, and then you guys go together. Oh, there we go. There, now you did something.
Just shook things up a little bit.
The earth moved.
Go.
Are you good?
Can you hear us?
Yes, now we can.
Yeah, we can hear you. Okay.
Okay.
Well, me, I'm a type. I'm real ambitious. I'm very spiritual, and I'm kind of bossy. So, and he's the total opposite. He's the total opposite. He's more let it flow. He's more attentive. about certain things. And he more, let's say, let me handle most of the, you know, most of the activities or something we're getting into in the business. So he's more, believe it or not, he's more of the pushover, and I'm more of the bossy one. Well, we complement each other because when it's time for me to be more easygoing, he calms me down. He like, listen, maybe we should handle it this way. And when he's allowing things to go too easy, I'm the type of person to say, baby, no, this is not healthy. You know, we can't allow this to happen because this is not healthy for the client. Because you don't want them to, you want to be so helpful that they're not helping themselves. So we complement each other on that way, in those aspects of, you know, me, I'm the bossy type. He's the type of person that is more easygoing. And we get, believe it or not, we accomplish more things together this way. Like, I need him to calm me down, and he needs me to push him. Yeah.
Mm.
So
So
I'm the
does
spiritual type.
does does he ever get a chance to talk and in turn tell you what to do?
Of course, but he
Look at him,
respects
brother.
me
Look at him, brother.
because
He's like, don't say that. I gotta get off the phone. I gotta deal with him. Please, you're starting trouble already.
well, he, like he said, he's shy. So yes, and he does it mostly when we get at home. You know, he like, well, baby, this is what's going on because he loves my thrive. He loves my ambition. So he, when it happens, he doesn't get in the way of it. Um, but later on, or he'll pull me to the side and he'll tell me like, listen, baby, you need to calm down. I think if we handle it this way, so yes, like, trust me now, he's a force to be reckoned with. But he knows our parts, what we play the best when it comes to good cop, bad cop. So yes, he
Mm.
does. Um, he's a leader, definitely, but he's shy. I'm a leader, definitely, but I'm bossy, and I keep saying that over and over again because that's, believe it or not, that's the two things that complement me and him, and make us such a good pair. You know, he understands me greatly. Um, he's behind me 100%. I understand him. When his morale is down, sometimes he's a great leader. So I pick him up, and he makes things happen. So yes, he does it quietly, and I do it loud. So
Hmm.
he's the quiet
Do you
one.
agree with her,
He's
sir? Sir, do you agree with
Yes,
her?
yes, yes, somewhat, yes, somewhat.
Oh my God! So one is grounded, the other one is visionary. Okay. Instead of, we're not talking about being competitive. See, a lot of young folks, when they're in this area, they want to be competitive. They're not being compliment to one
And
another.
then they'll
They're
say,
more
I'm just,
competition with one
I've
another.
just always been competitive.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
there's a time and a place.
There's a difference between competitive and being compliment to one another. You just gave an example of being compliment, not competitive, because he didn't say, man, I don't like that at all, but I'm going to be quiet about it. He seems to be very comfortable with that. And therefore, that's where that compliment comes in, because they're comfortable with it. These traits work together because they create a well-rounded relationship. And you move into that next area called we are us's. Not
Yes.
individuals. Some people in a relationship, there are just two individuals in a relationship. They are not a us. They're not a us. In fact, they're not like us. I'm using that song. They're not. But it's important for us to operate as us in a relationship, especially in our African American community. We've had years of not having us's. And now we're getting young folks who are trying to be that way, being partners, building businesses or whatever, but they're more competitive because they have no examples whatsoever. They don't even know how to relate to one another because they have no example. Next time, hopefully, get you on the show, I'm going to let you listen to a deep, deep testimony from Erica Badu. I love her dearly. I knew about her way before she was even who she is now. And she talks about this area of relationship for young folks who really know nothing about it, including her. And she gets such a very good testimony on it, where she was on, what's that show with the God?
Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club. I'm gonna say that for next Thursday for those who are gonna stick in it and to I want to listen to it, especially you young folks. You need to listen to what she has to say. She may be a lot older, some of y'all young folks say, but she ain't down and out. She's still out there doing her thing from that end.
Yes.
So what's our next aspect?
The next one is emotional and mental support.
Emotional and mental support.
And we definitely need that.
Yes.
You know, sometimes one is down and the other is not.
She just gave an example.
But then you need to know how to bring that person up.
Mm-hmm.
We can't always be up, and we can't always bring the other person up. That's a give and take. If you're down and I'm down, one of us need to come out of it. If not for more than just a few minutes, so that we can help the other, so that we can be on a balanced enough scale so that we can continue to keep each other uplifted, emotional and mental. You know, he did a lot to help me through that when I went through the emotional grief of my mother passing. And this happened before I met him, but I was still deep in that grief mode when I did meet him. And I didn't even know that I was in it.
I didn't even know she was in it because she was tripping. I'm like, what the hell?
I'm so used to going through the business as usual, putting myself in automatic pilot and just going and doing what had to be done. And you know, but then I would have these mood swings, especially during certain times of the year, you know, Christmas, the anniversary of her death, her birthday, Mother's Day. I would go through these mood things that I didn't even know what they were. And finally, one day he says, you know, you always tell people to write it out. You say that writing is good for you and it's a good way to deal with what you're feeling. He says, so why don't you go? I think he was tired of me, but it worked. He says, why don't you go and write something about your mother and then come back and share it with me? And I said, okay. So I went into the other room and I started writing, and I wrote something about her, and I came back. And when I read it, it was like, oh my gosh, this is bringing her back to me. This is a good thing. And so I wrote another one, and I read it to one of my friends, and she said, oh, this needs to be a book. And I'm like, no, this is just for me. It turns out it did need to be a book. Mm-hmm. And I followed through on what he said, which was my not only emotional support, but it was also mental support, because not only was I grieving, but I was depressed also. And so through writing that book, it brought me back to where I needed to be. It helped me to cope with the fact that my biggest influence, my biggest supporter, my cheerleader, my friend was no longer with me in the flesh, but was still with me in the spirit and in the heart. And so, yeah, he was my emotional and mental support during that time.
The book she wrote was about her mom going through dementia. And quite frankly, in our Black community, we have a lot of older people going through dementia. Something hopefully we could talk about later on, we can help you with. Her book was very powerful, called The Pieces of Mama. And that book was very significant in helping me out, because my mom went through dementia. And I, being a Black man, I'm kind of, as you could tell, I'm more outgoing. I'm used to being the boss in so many words. And I got it from my mom, because my mom, being a single parent mom, she was used to being the boss. In fact, she was the boss, come to think about it. So it's hard to deal with during dementia. They don't necessarily have the same personality as they were before. In fact, she started acting like I was her dad instead of her son. It was hard for me to swallow my pride, to swallow my ego, to deal with my mom. And my wife's book and how she handled her mom helped me handle my mom by swallowing my pride and just pretty much going with where she was at. It helped me go through that particular period of time with my mom, who I love dearly, and one of those single parent black mothers that certainly was very strongly opinionated, for real. From that, it kind of messed me up with some other things, but she certainly was. So there again, that's a complimentary time that between both of us, it really helped out in a relationship and then helped out outside of that. I think her book one time was used for some caretakers of people who were dementia, and we were trying to get it involved with
Alzheimer's
the Alzheimer's Association. We still think it's going to be very helpful in our urban community, but that's another story too at the same time. Let's go on to our next one because our time is moving real quickly. I know we won't get through all of it.
Yeah, this is probably the last one.
Yes.
Mutual respect and understanding. Oh my gosh. Differences aren't seen as threats, but as assets. Your respect of each other's individuality. You respect each other's individuality and don't try to change one another into versions of yourself. That's hard for a lot of people.
Yes, especially in our community where a lot of women come in. I'm an individual. I'm all about me. And a brother might be just as egotistical and say, I'm all about me. And so you have two people who are individuals in a relationship trying to relate to one another. And it ain't going to work too well if you got two individuals who are trying to relate to one another and don't even see interconnectivity means the time where you could pull and complement one another.
Yeah.
You're going to also be mostly at odds. And that's what we see on new young folks are doing, especially 35 and under. They are at odds, competing with one another like it's a business. Instead of this is a relationship. To relate, it's like, man, it's to relate, not to be at odds with one another from that end.
And especially if you have that attitude, if one of you have that attitude of my way is the only way to do things.
Yes.
You know, that makes things really difficult. So go ahead with what you were saying.
Yes.
Oh, well, me and Calvin discussed that a lot, and he'll tell me all the time. I made a lot of changes for you, and I'll tell him like, no, you made the changes for yourself. You're still Calvin. I don't change him. I just make him better. The things that he wants to do, the things he want to accomplish. I ask him like, what do you want to do? And then we set those goals towards what he wants to do. I don't want to change anything about him. I think he is fantastic. The things that he would like to make better, I'm with him 100%. What you saying?
I like that concept.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Yes, that the respect, and it goes a long ways in a relationship. When you're not around and when you're around, you have to have that respect either way, So that's one thing I can say about Kanye. She's pretty much, don't budge about respect when it comes to anything towards our relationship or anybody saying anything negative or, just something towards something that's not right. She will back me up 100% behind my back and in front of my face. That's one thing I could say. So that's what respect. I really respect her a lot for that, and I do the same thing likewise. Anything behind her back, I respect her in front of her face and behind her back. So.
And whatever we decide, like I say, we don't try to change each other. All of us have imperfections, and that's what makes him special. That's what makes him understand me. Like I say, we don't try to change each other. We just try to make each other better. We make each other better. We have accomplished so many different things.
I love that. As you just said, make it better. That's the kind of words I try to use as a more positive way in turn when it comes to a relationship that's moving towards an us, because a us is not exactly the same as it is by itself. An us becomes a piece or pieces of two that bind themselves together. And so that us is really more than what you were before.
Yes.
So I'm gonna say something to a lot of people don't like, but are you guys all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one of my clients. So it's okay.
Okay, so that us means there is a change, but the change is because of you too, not you by yourself. That's right. The change is because of you two, not by yourself. And that's the thing about
Right.
interconnectivity. Interconnectivity means you both are mutually prepared to say, I can be into you as you are into me. And some of the things that I thought only I could do just for myself, I'm ready to mutually connect with you to in turn make it happen so we can do more than what we did and we could only do by
Right.
ourselves. That's a change, sisters,
Yes.
brothers.
Yes.
That's a change. There's nothing wrong with being changed. Don't ever get so stuck in that hard-headedness of egotism that says I'm the same, always the same, and never change. No, in a relationship, you two better start doing some changing coming together. In fact, they have out there proof that couples who've been together as friends for a long time, I'm going to say something and I'm going to move on because this is my preaching moment, that sometimes they start looking like each other. I'll say it again. They have scientific proof that they sometimes start looking like each other too at the same time. That's just how powerful that change is. Never be afraid if you're in a balanced, healthy relationship to want to change, to want to connect, to want to merge with one another. Now, we know on the other side, we do some other physical stuff merging with each other, but we don't find no problem with that, if you know what I mean. And no, we ain't talking about just having kids either. We're grown enough to understand it ain't just about having kids. So let's not pretend that we ain't about trying to change when it comes to that. No, we
Or come
are
together.
coming together. So we are trying to say it, as I said, I like what you said, sister, in a positive way. The positive way of change is we're expanding.
Make
We're
better.
going better. We're doing beyond than what we could before. How much more are you not doing that, my brother and sister, with these young folks coming out of prison? Aren't you not trying to change them? Aren't you not trying to make them
Yeah.
Yes.
better? Aren't you
Yes.
not? So you know
And
you're about change. You know
that's
that you're
one
about it.
thing
Oh,
that we
I
have
must
to
have
keep in mind as
last
well.
but yes, and last
Yes.
but not least, everybody knows that when it comes to our nature that God has created, it's always changing. Look at
Yes.
nature. Look at the seasons. It's always changes for the better, called growth. But that's part of life. That's a part of life. And what we have to learn is how do we change in such a way that makes us better, makes us more in unity, makes us more love and productive in this life, in this world, and look at things in life as being lessons that take us that direction.
Yeah.
I'm going to end there because that's all the time we have. Oh my goodness.
But we want to thank you all for being on the show with us, and the information or the nuggets of wisdom that
Oh yeah.
you dropped on us. They were wonderful. We're definitely going to invite you back again. You are a wonderful addition to what we have going here, and we thank you so much for being a part of it.
Exactly.
Thank
Please
you.
stay on. Please stay on too after the show so we can talk to you just a little bit. So please do that. Where can we find you guys at, real quickly, for those who are listening?
We're located in Savannah, Georgia, 1025 East 39th Street, Savannah, Georgia, right off of Waters Avenue, next to the Penny Civic Convenience Store. Or you can contact us at the SIP building, Savannah Police Department SIP building. We participate. We do our youth program over there. Our phone number is 678-437-8877. 678-437-8877. We're having a March Madness basketball tournament. We're giving out $7,500 to the winner. We got Josh Powell, the NBA player. Next time we come on, we'll bring him on with us. Um, the NBA player who's giving out the award. So please contact us if you need some help. You're a beautiful couple, Ms. Budd, Mr. Budd. I think what you're doing is wonderful. We appreciate you having us on, talking about these subjects because it's very important, especially in the African American tribe society these days. We need that kind of coaching. We need that unity to bond us together, so we can get things done, so we can help some of these young folks, not only
Yes.
in
Yeah.
the workforce, but in relationships, because that's what's very important. The relationships we bond, together. It takes a village, and thank you for being that village.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank
Well,
you.
what I'm going to say is Ashe and amen, because I'm over, and I don't want Julius to say
Ashe.
anything bad to me.
I like that.